It started with a bite. On the surface, that's all there is to the Marvel Zombies universe. Parallel Earth undone by a hunger that can never be satisfied. Superheroes and villains alike, icons who once held the planet together, now driven by a single, gnawing instinct. They want to feed. For a while, that's all they do. Feed, consume, destroy. But if you look closer, there are cracks in the mindless facade. Patterns. Approximations of thought, because these aren't ordinary zombies. Not really. In the Marvel Zombies series, being a zombie is only the beginning, and it doesn't take long before the infection begins to evolve, right along with its hosts. At first, you see what you'd expect. The infected hurl themselves into battle with the last human survivors. Heroes fall, the cities burn, and the overwhelming mass of the undead surges over everything. But something's off. Spider-Man cracks remorseful jokes about having eaten Mary Jane and Aunt May. Genuine guilt snaking through his decay. Colonel America broods about responsibility between gulps of fresh meat. Giantman, always a scientist before anything else, isn't just hungry, he's curious. Marvel Zombies don't just stagger. They skim. Hank Pym, for instance, has enough presence of mind to keep T'Challa alive in secret, rationing him piece by piece as a renewable food source. Could a regular zombie do that? It's calculating, macabre, and yet so very human. The heroes twist their powers and personalities around their need to devour, years of experience not quite But this isn't a static plateau. Intelligence isn't just preserved in Marvel Zombies, it grows. By the second volume, Peter Parker and the others start to notice lingering memories, old emotions resurfacing, and regrets that only deepen as the hunger dulls. They recall who they were, just enough to hate themselves for it. And then there's power. The Silver Surfer descends, heralding Galactus and his promise of cosmic annihilation, yet the zombies hunt him down, coordinate, and consume him, absolving his power cosmic. What does that do? For one thing, it makes them less reliant on flesh. For another, it boosts their intelligence a sudden leap up the evolutionary ladder. Soon, a handful of zombies don't just outmuscle their prey, they outthink them. They use strategy, plan, ambuses, forge uneasy alliances, at least for the sake of mutual survival. When Galactus arrives, it isn't a berserk horde that fights him, it's an organized strike force, powerful and cunning enough to turn his own cosmic energies into their next meal. By the series' end, the original infected have transformed into something altogether different. They travel into space, hop from world to world, not only conquering but ruling. They understand alien technology, manipulate galactic politics, and even, in Magneto's case, corrupt potential threats before they arise. All the while, the hunger is still there, but now it's tempered by calculation. It isn't just the old heroes either. Later generations of zombies become even more sophisticated. In Marvel's Zombies Return, some, like Peter Parker, fight to suppress their undead urges, using willpower and scientific reasoning to manage their curse. The Hulk alternates between monstrous rages and moments of tragic comprehension. The worldview of the Marvel Zombies expands. They ponder cosmic questions, experience self-loathing, and even try, in rare cases, to redeem themselves. But does this mean every zombie is evolving in lockstep? Not quite. The intelligence curve is uneven. Some remain mindless, especially those freshly transformed. Others, especially those who ingest cosmic energy, springboard ahead almost as if the infection itself adapts, learning as it passes through more and more powerful brains. Are they more dangerous? Absolutely. If you think yesterday's mindless walker was scary, what about a horde led by an undead Reed Richards, master tactician, with the power of Galactus and no moral center? The genius-level zombies engineer new forms of spreads, turning the disease into a weapon, manipulating entire worlds into letting them in. The threat ceases to be just about numbers, it's about unpredictable cunning and, on occasion, the birth of something resembling purpose. At its Earth, the Marvel Zombies saga is about loss of control, of heroes, of hope. But ironically, as the zombies lose their humanity, They also rediscover pieces of it, twisted by hunger but unmistakably present. Undead. They create something the living never saw coming. Zombies with ambition, capable of building a new world or destroying 1,000. It began with mindless hunger. It ends with an intelligence that could doom galaxies. And that, in the Marvel Universe, is about as dangerous as it gets.